People, we're living in a time where a lot of people are talking, a lot of talking, and not a whole lot of people thinking about their words before they speak. So they end up not knowing even what they're meaning. They're just saying stuff. And the topic today, people, and I don't like this term, but it's gender roles. Gender roles is a big one, right? I don't really like it. I don't like, how do I put this? For example, I'm a musician. I don't need people telling me how I should be as a musician. I am a musician. I've been a musician forever. Now I can always improve as a musician, but I am a musician. I am a black man. I don't need people telling me, hey, this is how a black man should act. I am a black man. I act how I act. I act like a black man because I am a black man. You see what I'm saying? So I don't like any of that stuff. Now, as a minister, I get asked sometimes to speak on certain things, and sometimes I get asked to speak on gender roles. I don't normally, because I normally say, hey, I need at least a week to really get into this, because it's a sensitive subject matter, right? And that normally, stops that, because I got to get paid for that, all right? So that normally doesn't happen, and it's difficult, all right? But I know what I mean, which is why I know I need a little bit of time to talk about what I mean on this topic. You have other people, they'll throw scriptures out there, and I know the scriptures, but I ask them, like, what do you mean? And they say, well, the man is the head. What does that mean? They make all the decisions. So is the woman, what, like a slave? The woman's a slave? And they're like, no. So I'm like, well, what do you mean? Well, they have to make the main decisions. They're the leaders of the household. But again, if the woman goes against that, if she disagrees, does she just have to go along with it? Sounds like a slave. And they're like, no, that's not what I mean. Well, what do you mean? Well, the man is the leader. They're the protector. They teach. They're the ones supposed to be teaching. So the woman can't teach. What if someone breaks into your home? The woman's just supposed to sit there and scream and hope that the man rescues the day, comes in and saves the day. Like, what do you mean by all that? And they're like, no. Well, then tell me what it is that you mean. You say, well, the woman is supposed to be nurturing, and they deal with the kids. So that's why there's so many people growing up with single moms, right? That's why there's so many single moms. I get it now. And they're like, no. Well, what do you mean? So you're telling me that that's the woman's job, it's woman's work. So a man can't be empathetic. A man can't show any sort of compassion, can't be nurturing. It's just the woman, right? So what are you talking about? Some people might say, well, we don't need any gender roles at all, just let people do whatever they want. All right. Problem with that is that doesn't normally, there's so many influences out there, so it doesn't normally happen anyway. And plus, whenever you say, hey, everybody do whatever you want, it never ends well. So there's that as well, right? And you might say, well, it's a battle of the sexes. You have a lot of, especially women who are bitter, and they say, well, we don't really need the man, and it goes the other way, right? And those women end up, and I'm saying women, it's a lot of women. There's also men who just have this negative attitude towards women, but they end up very bitter and very lonely. So that's a problem as well, all because of gender roles and the impact of gender roles, right? And people say, well, masculinity is dying. What does that mean? Well, the men are going away. What does that mean? What does it mean to be a man or a woman? What does it mean to be masculine? Like, what are you talking about? What exactly do you mean? Toughness, muscles? Like, what do you mean? Like, what about for the woman? There's certain way they're supposed to act, look. Are we talking about like a Barbie figure? Like, what are we doing? What do you mean? So take time, people, to figure out what it is that you mean. Make sure it makes sense. And then maybe speak.